If you've ever watched your favourite streamer try the human benchmark test, you probably thought to yourself,
how is he so dumb?
Then, like me, you played it and realised, actually, I'm pretty dumb.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills,
which may just help me surpass the human limit for all 8 challenges. First test, reactions. Reacting is an extremely important part of both racing and streaming, but the focus is on the pry kind here. When solving this problem, I thought to mimic my own behaviour, of staring at one spot and clicking when my brain finally realises what I'm looking at has changed. Now that's pretty basic to program. I collect the colour of a single pixel, disregarding all the other nonsense on the screen, and when the value returned changes, I instruct my mouse to click. 12 milliseconds, probably still longer than you last in bed. Speaking of yourself, next is the Chimp test, which looks like this. I thought it would be awesome if we could use a neural net to recognise the numbers and locate them on the screen, but suddenly my finger slipped and I pressed F12. Everything I needed was right there in the HTML. I noticed each div corresponds to a square on the grid, and said div would contain a number. Therefore, what I did was extract the div with the number 1, putting that first in my array, then a number 2 div, putting that second, and so on, until I essentially had an ordered array of divs and I could sequentially run a click command on them. Let me introduce you to Davinder Singh. He holds a world record for typing with his nose, achieving about 25 words per minute. Well, we have something he doesn't, and it's not a bigger nose. Similar to the last challenge, we have HTML, and conveniently, the text to be typed is stored in that code. So I went with the only real solution here, which is to extract all those characters, smash them together into one big string, and paste that into the text box. Aim Trainer was probably created to draw in more American players. Initially, I thought we could analyse the pixel colours on the screen to determine where the target centre is and click that. But as a programmer, and I imagine the same can be said for you, I like the easiest solution, which I determined was I can send a click to the div with the specific class attribute and it works fine. Back to some memory related tasks. In visual memory, a number of tiles will flash white and you simply have to click all the tiles which flash. Similarly to the Chimp test, the HTML divs aptly form a 2D array and we know a square is active if the class contains the word active. So we can track which divs are active in the show phase and select them after. Verbal memory shows us words one at a time and asks us whether it is a new or already seen word. Again, doesn't require much thought. Extract the word from the HTML and add it to a list. Then simply check if the word exists in the list and click the corresponding button. Take a second to imagine what number memory will be. That's exactly what it is. Each time you recite a number, a new digit is added. Until you eventually give up waiting because the number shows for 5 fucking minutes, but you did the equivalent of writing it down instantly. Almost a clone of the previous one here, except it's a number and we don't store it, instead we just enter it directly into the input box.
Nice.
You'll be happy to know this is the last time you need to use your brain, so if you have a sub-0 IQ and are still watching, you're almost there. I didn't want to do another HTML cop-out here, so I look at the center pixel of each of the 9 tiles and log when it turns white. The number of tiles remains the same and the sequence doesn't change, so we only need to track the last tile to flash. Yes, so top marks for all the challenges. Thanks for watching, and of course, like, subscribe